Hello everyone, I wanted to do a follow-up video to the one I was talking about, the Hierarchy of Canon. And I want to talk about why the Hierarchy of Canon was not flawed. I hear a lot of people say this. The first person I heard claim that the Hierarchy of Canon was flawed was Star Wars YouTuber and versus creator Antoine Bandele. He claimed that the Hierarchy of Canon was flawed, but he didn't give any proof or explanation to back up his reasoning. Which is I mean, I like Antoine, but I'm not subscribed to him because, I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's a Disney shill. He's definitely not a Disney shill, but I don't know. I just don't like that he's just spreading lies about the expanded universe. Like, he claimed it was never canon, but when referring to the Force Unleashed. But I want to debunk that bullshit. That the Hierarchy of Canon was flawed. Alright, one of the reasons why the Hierarchy of Canon just worked really well is it was set up in a way that really helped you deal with internal contradictions. Like, you know, well, it is true that the first, the first 4 tiers in the hierarchy were not separate from each other. They were one thing. Like I said, having it set up in the way it did, you could deal with contradictions much easier. If something contradicted something else in the movies, or if there was something that contradicted other EU material, they would either make it S canon or N canon. They move it down until, you know, they could deal with the retcon and explain it, because, you know, they didn't just leave the contradictions in the expanded universe, they fixed each of them. And, you know, the new canon doesn't have that system whatsoever, so how are they going to deal with internal contradictions? Also, with the way that Star Wars video games worked in S-Canon, having like multiple ways you can play it, each time you could defeat a boss in a different way. Like, you use a force power, you defeat him. You use a lightsaber strike to defeat him. You use a weapon just to defeat him. Or, you know, like the multiple endings, the customization, the video game mechanics. The old way really made sense with that. So the events could still happen and take place, just not in the way you played them. It made perfectly sense to have that, have a hierarchy with S-Canon for video games. But with the new canon, they have absolutely no way of dealing with that, because, I mean, they do have a few mobile games that are supposed to be canon, so how did it really happen? Who was the real character? Or, like, you have, like, EA's Battle Crap 2 that probably has multiple ways it can be played. I don't think it has multiple endings, but how are you going to deal with video game mechanics? And there's another Star Wars game that's coming out, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. You're probably going to be able to customize your own Jedi in that, if they don't, like, make the protagonist a set person like Galen Merrick from The Force Unleashed. How are you going to deal with that? And if you have the ability to choose your lightsaber color, like, what lightsaber color did the character really have? You see, without S-Canon, without a hierarchy of canon, you can't deal with things like that. They have no way of dealing with those issues. So That's why the Hierarchy of Canon was not flawed. It was a great way of dealing with Star Wars canon, dealing with contradictions. So, do any of you think the Hierarchy of Canon was flawed? Do you think it was perfect? Let me know, and have a good day, people.